Team Obsidian got this. Alright, we should be good. Maybe. Perhaps. Alright, let's remove that bottom overlay. I realize I've been doing that a lot of casts. I'm so used to it, but it does look better without that bottom bar. But, of course, no matter what team you're rooting for, appreciated. Support is appreciated. Both teams, I'm sure, appreciate the tune in. But welcome in everyone to this Royalty Series and a contender of the C1-C2 tier. And we're at week 7, the final week of the regular season. So all teams trying to bolster their win count as they get closer to playoffs. As almost an opportunity for Obsidian. That was a risky business, giving it up in front of net. But I vote. No one challenging in the air. Slight touches back and forth, and Chaotic does finish that. A little bit awkward on their approach. And it just kind of ping-ponged. Strangely, both players had a similar touch, just continually going right. Yeah, I mean, sometimes there is a delay. I don't know if you've tried like Discord, like someone streaming from Discord. That's another alternate. But yeah, given how League works, people are entitled to prefer no spectators. Sometimes that's how it is. Up by 2. Ivo makes a slight touch, but what a shot. City is there and ready to strike. And now ERE, Obsidian are on the board and cut that lead by 1. Holy on the other side, but does venture to try and kick it out. And back and forth play. Chaotic realizes the little gap, takes advantage, and gets back a goal. And Spartan is up by 2 again. And maybe more off the kickoff. No one home. Chaotic beats last man. And tough kickoff for Obsidian. As now it's heading to 3 minutes to play. But it's only game 1, and that one hits wide, but Chaotic there striking again and has the tally. Quite the game, but of course teammates keep feeding him. He's gonna keep shooting. But once again, only game 1, and we've seen crazier things. And especially when you consider a best of 5 long series to go. But nevertheless, Obsidian down by 4 and have to try and get back into this game, carry some momentum at the very least. But 50's at the midfield. Ivo trying to turn on this. He does get a touch, but that should be possession going the other way as Chaotic trying to capitalize from a demo in the backfield. Caden. Slight touch mid. What a pass, but hits the crossbar. But you like to see that. Great pass. And if they could get that going, who knows? As Caden tries again with the passing. Might be the playmaker. Certainly want to get it in control for him. As Caden to the air and denied. But Caden's starting to wake up. We see him all over the field now. And should be interesting to watch as the series unfolds. Slight beat. Kicked out to the side. Caden bumped off. He wanted that opportunity. As Fear comes sniping in. Ivo, touch. Not going to be doing anything. Next man up is Holy and almost gets the dunk. But now have to retreat. Possible counter. But possession given up. And right back. And certainly Obsidian want to be careful. Giving possession back to this highly offensive team so far as Chaotic puts in another one. And certainly they're going to want to keep it away from Chaotic. But 6-1, we possibly have the makings of a Brazil game 1. And certainly not the start Obsidian wants. However, it's going to be very interesting to see how they adapt and overcome. That game 1 loss proves what character you're made of. But Chaotic slightly touched down, and Holy puts in the Brazil. You gotta respect how it naturally happened. As it was a weird touch from Chaotic, but it worked. But game 1 goes to Spartan Ares. And we will be going to Forbidden Temple, game number 2. And you like to see that Obsidian ready to jumpstart game 2. And you gotta expect they'll be coming out swinging if this game ever starts. Alright. Seemed like a little delayed on the start. Feel like it's like only a few seconds. That one seemed like a little bit more. Holy gonna try and control while avoiding the bump. And Ivo comes through on the ground. And Demo, what a touch. Trying to keep it out. And got players in front of net. Having a read. But Obsidian hold on. At least for the start of this. Ivo in a rough spot. And that's the way cleared. Fear Darkness is going to have himself the first goal of the game. And a prime opportunity. You have the numbers. And you don't even need to get anything crazy when you have lead blockers like that. And Fear having some momentum and confidence after that first goal. But big beat, that's going to hit the crossbar, and Ivo is up. What a play. Tied up after 1 minute played. Now, back to the drawing board, Obsidian. As that's a long ball, can Fear get there? He had no boost. And a very long clear, very long goal. Spartan Ares take the lead. Fear, again, has been applying pressure in this one. And nice demo, try and clear the way. And certainly that's something that they want to get into. It's resulted in a goal, and that aggressive nature results in a goal for Caden. And controlling the midfield as well. This game is back and forth, but problems on a kickoff. Almost a repeat of game one. But Fear, not panicking, staying behind the ball. Chaotic high. And that drops down. And a slight touch from Holy. Sensed danger. Knew he didn't have to get anything crazy of a shot. And just lofted up. And that's just a series of pressure leading to a goal. Chaotic down to the other side. Holy, no boost. Gonna try and track it down. But Fear in the way and pinch. As Holy has to get a 50. High vote. Keeps it to the corner. And back and forth pinball here. As ricocheting off all types of players. Fear beats one. Holy almost gets dunked. And that one's a little wide. Possible shot opportunity. As both teams need to lock in here. We're seeing some sloppy play. And that's on target, but Chaotic is there. And Caden keeping the pressure. But Holy cut. And Ivo, he's got possibly an open net. It hits it wide. Good closeout. And Caden taking his time. Slight touch. Hits the crossbar. Too high. Fear can't make contact. And that's an opportunity they definitely want back. As Caden trying to keep the pressure. Now blast to the other side. Fear off the ceiling. Holy gets a touch, but Caden is there. Now Chaotic trying to fill. And some series of good pressure, but Ivo at the midfield blasts at one, and it's not hitting the crossbar. That's directly in. And a little bit of security for Spartan Aries. Pinch trying to go out. Chaotic, not the best touch, but has Holy coming through. And now Ivo left on his lonesome in the back, but buying time well as its teammates to recenter. And Ivo taking the 50. And that's possession game at its finest. Staying behind the ball, not panicking, not flipping away and giving it up. But that one's going to drop, and Fear, he's been the offensive guy for Obsidian and will be credited with that one as well. And hold the phone. Within one. 30 seconds left. Will we see a little magic from Obsidian? City venturing back as Caden trying to get it by, but Holy sends it. And trying to clear the way, and Chaotic has the car angle just right. Pinches in and get back that goal. And what a closeout. Chaotic just getting up enough as Caden almost cleared it. But we will not see magic in this one. Now, oh my god, it's a crossbar. It feels bad. But Obsidian had some good pressure there. A couple shots, and throughout the game had a few shots. Now, if we put it all together into a match, who knows? But they're going to have to do that game by game. Because right now, it's reverse sweep. Or they lose. DFH Stadium, 10th anniversary. All right, let's say we're good. All right, Ivo making us wonder. But 50'd out and early pressure, but now they're attacking. Two players bouncing off. Caden is there and does give that one up. Holy, high in the air, but can't make contacts. Caden with the challenge. And good pressure. Ivo can't get there. And what a play. They've been working well out of the corner, and there's a shot. And there's been some openings, but good first lead of this one for Obsidian, but gives it up in front of net, and Ivo, all he has to do is shoot straight, and does exactly that. And did we see a little panic there? Well, we talk about staying behind the ball, 50, and not giving up possession. Well, that is a big key in Rocket League. Chaotic off the backboard. And 50'd out. Caden. Big 50 out. Back toward the city. Caden stops it in its tracks. And trying to get into the flow of this rotation. There's now Chaotic blasting it right back. Tough touch. But Caden is there for it. And venturing back. Sloppy play. As now Obsidian can come through. But don't. And tied one apiece. Really going back and forth. Might come down to a mistake. A nice bounce. And using it doesn't have to be pretty. We're going to ignore that last slight whiff. But he gets a piece. But again, as we said, you got those lead blockers using it. Using the situation well. And that's something Obsidian has done well. And that leads to another goal for them. But that net is cleared. What a save from Fear. It was looking like a repeat. What plagues them? When they had that net wide open. But valiant effort on the save, and is the tide turning? Luck. Just turn it around for them. And that is the goal right there. Pinch going the other way. But now Spartan Aries find themselves in unusual territory, down by 2. And the largest lead for Obsidian in the series. But tough read, does get it. Now Chaotic blasts it to the other side. And big demo leaving the net open, and Holy gets it. And that's another thing, giving up possession. You got the demo come through. And Aries, you know, even if they miss on that first man, comes through on that demo rotation, opening things up. And that's what you see there. But Fear off the backboard. Chaotic gets a touch. And plenty of time. Bounced off to the side. Only to the air. That's going wide. Now Obsidian trying to put this into a counter. But still not quite out of their half. But a few nice touches from Fear. That's bouncing in front. Another demo. Can they clear it? The net is open. And Caden just there in time. And so we see those demos come through. They gotta stay behind the ball. But a demo the other way almost results in a goal for Obsidian. And it's been so interesting to see both teams adopt a similar method. And it works. But midfield, Holy almost scores, but that's a low. But turns around quickly. And tactical fake in front of the net. It has to get back for the touch. 30 seconds left. This could give some security if Obsidian score here. Instead going the other way. And a double commit. Holy beats out. But a good touch. As that's lofted midfield. 10 seconds left. Can Obsidian hold on? Hidden to the other side. Holy, blast it. Tough read. Anyone there? Chaotic. Not wide enough. Obsidian take a game. And they are on the series scoreboard. But game 4 is here. And big implications. Spartan ERE is trying to close out the series. But Obsidian holding on. And Obsidian trying to win game by game to bring it to game 5. And so they got a little momentum win. But you gotta expect ERE's gonna come out strong. Taking their first loss of the series. And so can Obsidian hang on and show some of the magic that led them to a previous game victory. But some bumping going on. Holy, what a 50 back and forth. But slightly cleared to the side. Chaotic not going to be given the time to strike. And awkward play, but yet they make it work. Ivo by one. Holy is there, but Ivo blocks it. Are you kidding me? You can't make that up. It was looking like a good pass, but I don't know if the shot would have been enough. But nevertheless, interesting play how it transpired. But bump in, and that actually works. Saw the ball slow down, and the bump in front of net not giving those easy clears, and results in a goal for Spartan ERE. Now Chaotic gonna blast this, and no one in net, and Chaotic can follow it, and it looked like there's a little time to get back. but still rushing back, trying to read it. Tough call. And Spartan ERE's up by 2. And now Fear trying to get something going to Caden. And good beat out, but Spartan ERE's set on defense. And Ivo, series of touches, but great closeout from Fear. And now they're knocking on the door. That's hit out wide. Fear touched by Holy. And Caden can't make much of that one, but in front of net. Now Holy has to get behind this. And now reset, going the other way as we get past halftime. And Holy slight touch. Ivo can't get there. Has Chaotic, but in a rough spot. Going the other way. Fear on target. What a play. Has the midfield. And you see Ivo, tough spot. Does he go? Does he not? Either way, that's going in favor of Obsidian. And nice counter attack from them as they cut the lead to 1. And Chaotic not going to be able to get that one. It's Holy tries to loft it up. Chaotic by 1, 50'd by 2. Last man can collect, but big 50 in front of net. That's going to hit wide. But midfield presence doing well for Obsidian. Minute 25 left in this one. 1 goal difference. Obsidian trying to tie it up. And this is an awkward ball. Holy, though, calm and collected. Gets another to a teammate. Ivo. Can't do much with that. And we got a Rule 1 on the field. 2v2 action. I thought Chaotic would go for the demo right there. But they're keeping the 2v2. And bounced out. Now Chaotic has to rush back. Low boost. And too far for Fear. Almost in a good spot. But low boost. Ivo backs it up. Chaotic denied on the double from both sides. And slight beat. Fear can't get there. Ivo bumped out. And Chaotic could be in a rough spot trying to read this, but does boom it out. Just patient. Hit out. Is this how this game ends? 4 seconds left. Fear trying to bring it up. It does stay up. Fear downfield. And Ivo seals the deal. And congrats to Spartan ERE taking the victory. GG's. Would like to thank both teams for showing up, Spartan ERE and ERE Obsidian, of course. Also like to thank anybody who tuned in. Very much appreciated. But if you voted Spartan ERE, you are correct. So once again, congrats to Spartan ERE, the victory in week 7, as we will eventually find out about quals next week, how that's going to turn out.